I'm a first generation student. Hi, my name is Ashleigh Francis. I attend the University of Nevada, Reno, and this is my story. So both of my parents, my mom is from Houston, Texas, and my dad's from New Orleans, Louisiana. And since they both met in New Orleans, Louisiana, I was able to grow up there from a little bit. Even though I am a first generation student, I really never noticed much of a difference between myself and other students. I'm the third child out of 6 children, and so far I feel like I live a pretty happy life. I mean, maybe there's some things that I guess my parents did teach me as them not going to college. For one, my dad always knew what he kind of did and didn't want to do. He went to his first semester of college after attending the Navy ceremony, after being in the Navy once he was 17, and realized that college really wasn't for him. And my mom, on the other hand, she was in college for 3.5 years, and once she became pregnant with my older sister, she decided it would be best for her family to focus on raising her daughter with as much love and care as she could, and being in college wasn't necessarily the best option for her at the time. So even though I don't really view myself that different from other students. There are a couple of lessons I learned differently. For one, I learned that it's always important to be tenacious, and I learned that at the ripe age of 6 years old. So whenever I was learning how to finally ride my bike, my stepmom Vanessa, whenever my dad was buying it, he was like, okay, she was like, we're going to add helmets and elbow pads and knee pads into the basket so that they'll be safe whenever they are riding their bike. But whenever they were checking out, she didn't really notice that my dad took them out of the cart. He strongly believes that by us hitting the ground and having bloody elbows and knees, that it's the best way for us to learn how to ride our bikes. Because we learned that even though it's painful at the time to get hit by the ground, it's still something that we need in order for us to progress and no longer want to hit the ground. That failure is necessary in order and the means for success. So even though that was a pretty weird, hard lesson for me to learn when I was 6, I still kind of carry that into my daily life. For instance, one of the tough challenges I had this year is that I had to live with 5 other people I did not know. And I don't know their personalities, and even to this day I still have some issues. But even though it was a little bit difficult at the time, I still learned that, yeah, there are failures and sometimes we do get in arguments, that overall it's a means to an end. That I'll live with these lifelong friends that I've made in my first year and decided that they're the people that I want to spend the rest of my college life experience with because I know them and they know me. And even though it can be difficult, we learn from the end. And any advice I would give to any first generation student is that you're literally not that different from other kids. Yes, you may have other challenges and struggles, but overall you're still a student aiming for the same exact goal. So though you may have bumps and failures, in the end it'll teach you to be a better student. Thanks.